And 10 years before any locomotive rolled into Daytona, the continent was connected by the Transcontinental Railroad and telegraph. And so what we were in Florida, we were just isolated communities. It was very difficult to get in and out of Florida and to move within Florida. And I don't know if any of you remember this building. I call it the Port Orange House, but when it was up, it was the Riverview Inn.
Oh, the Riverview Inn.
You either took a vessel like that through what they call Mosquito Inlet, now Ponce Inlet, or you took the stagecoach, it was Buck's Stagecoach, up the Old Kings Highway, or you took a dirt road that ran over to Enterprise, and from there you caught a steamer up to St. John's to Jacksonville and made your connections from there. So, and the problem with these routes was you didn't always make your journey, you didn't always make it there safely. And these roads would be flooded, and so it was very difficult traveling. And you can, the founder of our city, Dr. Hawks, wrote a book, The East Coast of Florida, and you can read about some of the travels, like he talks about a trip from basically Oak Hill down to Jupiter and how hard that trip was. 1904, and that's it. That's basically the predecessor of the US 1.
Wow.
You can see that it was a shell road, so not much of a road.
No pavement, huh?
Back in 1904, I have some. It was like $1.98 up to St. Augustine or Jacksonville, something like that from here. Okay.
Yeah, that seems high. Right? For back
What's
then,
that?
Yeah.
That looks like a girl there.
It is.
With the long skirt.
Yeah, that definitely. If you look, do you see that white building in the back?
Yeah.
It's on the right here, on this side.
There, yeah.
Yeah, that's the 1889 Wood School.
Ah,
And that actually set where the elementary school sets right now. Here is Lafayette McDonald. His family built that hotel I showed you earlier, Port Orange House. But more importantly, they got their start making salt in the old sugar mill. In fact, even before that, they went down to Oak Hill and they were making salt for the people who were harvesting the live oaks for the maritime industry. That's how Oak Hill got its name, basically. As I understand it. I'm not an Oak Hill expert, so don't hold me to that, but that's my understanding. And this sign actually is at the Port Orange Historic Trust, if you want to see it. Both signs, the north and the south sign. And you notice that even a little depot like that had separate facilities.
Oh yeah.
For coloreds and white.
Wow.
That just gives you an idea how severe the Jim Crow laws were.
Oh yeah, they have tough.
Okay. But the gentleman here in the doorway there, that is J.B. Case. He built that wood school that was in the other picture there, and he was an early alderman, and more importantly, he was involved in beekeeping, and beekeeping was very important here because we had 83 orange groves on this side of the river. There were more on the other side of the river. It's going to be a museum. That's part of the ECHO grant requirements. But we want to put a bookstore, gift shop, and a snack bar. We want the snack bar to look like one of the old roadside orange stands.
Oh, nice.
We want to put the orange back in Port Orange, so to speak. So that's what we will do with the depot, and the city will be doing the restoration and providing the infrastructure. We'll be providing the railroad equipment and displays. And we have acquired this caboose, and this is the last surviving metal caboose from the Florida East Coast. They have only 2 other cabooses, both of those are wood, and one is not even lettered as a FBC caboose anymore because it was sold to the Nashville, Chattanooga, and St. Louis Railroad. It's up in Tennessee in a museum. But this is what we call Lucy, and I'll explain that in a minute. But that's one of the, we have the depot, that's the first project. This is the second project.
That'll come here?
We're working on getting it here.
But it has to be done just painting and interior?
No, it has to be totally restored.
Restored inside?
Yeah, we have to go down. We went down and did some cleaning on it. We have to get the brakes working, so we have to do a brake test on it.
Now, where's it located?
It's in Bryant, near Pahokee, south of Okeechobee.
Wow.
Yeah, it's at U.S. Sugar in there. Yeah. Yeah.
We're gonna transport it by rail.
Yeah.
Flatbed or something.
U.S. Sugar has agreed. They have a lot of the old line that FEC had that went, when I said that K line that went out to Okeechobee and back.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of it's been taken up, but they have a lot of that line in it. They're going to take the caboose out to the FEC interchange, and the FEC is going to pull it up to, you know where Oak Street is in the Public Works Department? There's that long siding there. We're going to pull it off that siding. We're going to get a Landau trailer. We're going to pull it up on the trailer and pull it over here.
Oh.
So we're going to have up there, we're going to have a restoration area with a container and maybe 2 tracks, one for the caboose to start with, and we're going to restore the caboose. The next part of the project is this engine.
Oh, wow.
This is what's called a 042 tank locomotive. The reason it's a tank locomotive is it doesn't have a tender behind it. The water is contained in the saddle tank that goes over the boiler, and in the back it has a oil bunker that is the fuel tank. This is a replica of the builder's plate. It has the serial number, the month it was built, and the year it was built.
We had some mines here.
Huh?
We had mines in Florida.
Phosphate mines.
Still do.
Fertilizer.
They're still working.
Yeah. Unfortunately, some of them are Superfund sites, but
Yeah.
I'll pass that around.
What is it, Lakeland?
Yeah,
Down by
that-
Lakeland.
Cornet is actually a
Some of the
little
small
town
towns, yeah.
that is about 3 miles outside Lakeland.
Yeah.
Okay. Online course where you take about 4 months of courses, 2 to 3 weeks, or 2 to 3 times a week, and then 2,000 hours working on the engine itself, so you can be, by the time you do all that, you'll be able to work at any museum throughout the state that runs steam. And we have people that have worked at museums and had their own businesses who will be the instructors for this.
So when you say run steam, that it will show people how it makes steam?
No, it's going to run.
It's going to actually.
And part of our business model is this. Basically, you can see we can't put a lot of track in here, maybe 300 feet. But what we can do is we can get a low bed truck, and we can set it up so that we can pull it on the truck from time to time, and we can truck it to other railroad venues, and it can be a real ambassador for Port Orange. Excuse me, so I should just hand it to you.
It's all right.
Okay, and this is one of the other parts of the project. I don't know if any of you are familiar with this story at all. Okay.
Caboose, I can.
No,
I
this
can't.
is Chuggy and the
Chuggy.
Blue Caboose has not been printed since 1959.
It's an old book.
Yeah, but think of the American Thomas. Okay, you've all seen Thomas the Tank Locomotive, right? Well, this is Chuggy, and since we have a blue caboose, the blue caboose in the story was named Lucy, so we're going to call our blue caboose Lucy. And this will be Chuggy, and so we will put the story to good use. And the idea is maybe to do YouTube videos, merchandise, but to market to families and children so we can get the next generation involved with this stuff. And so
I thought all cabooses was wrecked.
That's the buckling.
I like to save my toes.
Okay.
I like my toes
Come in here.
saved.
Yeah, it's buckled worse than it did.
Yep. Plus there's materials in here.
But they had knob too for lighting.
You know what this
Yeah.
means, don't you? We'll have to undo all this and redo it.
Yep.
This happened because in the hurricanes we had in 2015, the roof, some of the ridge tiles, so the shingles blew off and it got wet in here. So anyhow, and all this flowing in here, that's from where they were pressure washing the wood. Okay. Couple things you can see here. To begin with, you can see that it's mostly a cedar structure. You know, that's why it has the red tint, and that's why it survived so long. So if you look carefully, you see some of the insulators that's left from the original power
See
that
the
they had
original
in the
electric.
station.
It's interesting to see where the doors are from the inside.
And you can now see the hardware on how the doors slide. They're like a regular barn door that you see on these restorations. Fortunately, some of this graffiti was from 2020, but eventually what we'll probably do is we will take some insulation and vapor barrier, and we'll put the insulation and vapor barrier in here, and then we'll match it with some, recycled wood.
Right, yeah.
And so that we'll have, and we're gonna try and keep the whole roof exposed like the way it is, because it's one of the best features of the building. Okay, and so this was the freight house. This is 90% complete from what it was. That little cutout, I don't know what that was used for, that's not from the railroad time. You can see the brace that they put on where they put the two buildings together. And these doors are really cool. It's too bad you can't see in this model. This is much older hardware. This hardware is almost 60 years old.
Thank you.
But you see the floor is not very fancy because we're in the old freight house here. And we're going to keep that hardware. We'll have to have two of these. It's for its age, it's not really in that
That's
bad shape.
shame. And being in Florida, wood,
130 years old this year.
I mean, that's a
This is so
miracle
cool to
in
be
itself.
inside this.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
actually 1 year older than
Well, that's a
Did
good
the
idea.
termites- Why is it that the termites have an accident?
It's because it's cedar. Termites don't eat smelly wood.
The door this was the main entrance in and out of the depot. So probably what you had here, you'd walk in here, this would be the white waiting room here. Probably two, you see here these frames, those are from the windows that they had on each side. So this would have been a bigger waiting room. Probably where you guys are standing is about where the station agent's office was. Create that picture right here on this side, It's a possibility, maybe even with some cardboard blow-ups of the people in the picture. I don't know, but obviously that's a history we want to remember.